To understand art, you have to understand that everything begins with an input. When you are born, you don't express yourself. You can say that to cry is to express yourself, but it's only an automatic response and function. There has to be some sort of processing before you can express yourself. The computer has a processor. You have a processor too. Even expressing joyfulness and playfulness is due to some processing that has been prior to your expression. It's like going to visit someone. You have to realize your relationship to that person, and you have to realize where that person lives, and you have to want to visit that person, and it's going to depend on a wish for contact with that person that is somehow based on excitement. Someone said something very strange about excitement. I can't remember exactly what, but like like eccentric people, when you are eccentric, you are not centric, you are not acting from the core of your being, from the center, you are acting eccentric from somewhere far or not so far from the center of your being. It might be that when you are attached to someone, you're already losing your core. It's somehow in line with transcendental. To transcend, you have to forget your ego and language and your body. So to be eccentric, I don't know. I used to define sin as the opposite of will. If you can begin with the assumption that there is no will but God's will, then doing something that you don't want to do, maybe doing something that an ego wants you to do, is therefore sin because you're doing something against your own will. That leads me to the thought that to do what you want, you can't be alone. You can only make a decision together with someone else. If all decisions are made by two people, then it is impossible to do a decision alone. This might be why painting and writing and all kinds of expression really is an attempt to connect with the outside world. And if you are unable to connect with the outside world with your art, then it gets difficult to sustain your work. And then you start talking to yourself, because it makes no sense to you, and nothing is going on in your life anymore when you are unable to connect. I used to argue that Jesus would fail his mission if he didn't have disciples. All teachers need students. Jesus needed to be alone and walk in the desert to talk with God. But he always went back to people. Though there were some people he avoided.